work of our reporters and what we have done. So I'm going to get in here on Air Alexa. Very, very special graphics. That's an ode to our reporters and our coverage on ground. 50 reporters, like I told you. 224 constituencies, 31 districts, 60 days. It's the most comprehensive coverage. No one has covered Karnataka like us. So we'll get you all the aspects, the insights, and of course the fun moments. And we'll ask everybody what was their most memorable moment. So be it Aman, Pallavi, there is Harish, there is Neetu, there is Rohini, who has gone on ground, Zaka, Shivani, everybody went on ground. Akshara has been there. Neetu, Raghukumar, Purnima, Murli have come down from their core states of Kerala and Tamil Nadu and also traversed, just like some of the politicians have who have left their core states and come here to campaign, canvass against the various groupings of people. But before we go back to our reporters and whether or not they agree with what the pollsters, the exit pollsters have come out and said, will this number stand or is this actually going to be a decisive mandate? Let's quickly look at what the poll of polls said. The mega poll of polls looks at a fractured mandate yet again. Contrary to what Rohini just said, that the people want a decisive mandate. They want a clear, stable government. But if this stands at the end of the day, then it won't. But there are a few outliers. There are those who have given a runaway victory for the Congress party. There are those who have given a clear mandate for the BJP. But largely, the consensus is that the single largest party on result day should be the Congress party. Many believe it may just be in pole position to form government on its own. The kingmaker JDS looks weakened compared to 2018. Really at least about 12 to 15 seats lesser than the last time around. Now, will that stand? Is that going to happen? Let's take it to Pallavi Ghosh and Aman Sharma. You've also done a lot of Chehalkadmi, so I'm going to ask you, have you girls picked up Kannada there after spending time in Karnataka?
Not me, but I've learned how to make a dosa. I can make a perfectly round dosa. So, yeah, that's
there are two people who figured it out, Priyanka Gandhi and Pallavi Ghosh. They both figured out how to make a dosa.
PG also works, huh?
She's PGV.
yeah, there's no V in Pallavi.
There's no V in Pallavi. Yeah, so, just to come back, seriously, what I picked up from Karnataka is people are fun. They are not very aggressive. They don't fight, but politically very astute. So not many of them were talking openly. Language is an issue, which I certainly found one. Language is an issue, and why not? But, just to talk about a party I actually cover, which is the Congress party, I think it's actually do or die for them. It's very, very critical for the Congress party to win Karnataka elections. The Congress president comes from Karnataka, that's one. Second, unlike in other state elections over here, they began early. They prepared very well. They began early, so which also brings the criticism, did they peak early? Third is that the social media campaign, aggressive campaigns, and also Rahul Gandhi is the lengthiest and the most successful part of the Bharat Jodo Yatra was actually Karnataka. So even if the Congress party says, look, his Yatra was not political, that's not true. The true test case of the Bharat Jodo Yatra has been Karnataka, and most importantly, I think this is one election which managed to rein in Rahul Gandhi. He wanted to talk about his favorite topic, which is the Adanis and Rafale, which he was told absolute no. So he did not speak about that. He stuck to local issues. So I think if they win this election, that means they're going to get a little hang of the political strategy kind of right. I mean, I think they're going to replicate it then in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and so on and so forth.
The fact is that Mallikarjun Kharge, the Congress president, is from this state. So lots at stake for him personally as well.
Yeah, because see, I mean, that's what... the problem in the Congress party is that topmost does not mean that you get the perception battle right. Yes. I mean, Dr. Manmohan Singh was the prime minister for 2 terms, but he was always called a weak prime minister or remote-controlled. Kharge has often been called a remote-controlled Congress president. And that's something which the BJP says. I cover the Congress party, so I would notice, the go-to person would always be Rahul Gandhi rather than a Mallikarjun Kharge to solve their problems. This is Kharge's moment. He'll have to show that, I come from a state from Karnataka. I am the Congress president.
And I represent a crucial constituency.
Yes, absolutely. And he was the one who very strongly gave it back to the Prime Minister on many points. That poisonous snake remark of his, he was managed to kind of shrug it off by, immediately apologizing.
No, but there was also this impression that, was there an attempt to sabotage this election internally? Because the manner in which certain issues which were seen as local, a localized election became a national election posed that jibe.
Well, we'll have to wait to. I think the biggest faux pas the Congress made was that Bajrang Dal.
If that sabotage had to happen, it started with Mallikarjun Kharge. Why would he sabotage in his own state? But Aman, quickly, and then we'll bring in Zaka and Shivani before we take it out.
I would split this election into two phases. I would say that there was one election pre-April 26th when it was the Congress which looked like having the edge because Congress was solidly going to the ground with its 5 guarantees. You know, Congress worked for almost 2 months to go home to home with its guarantee card promising these 5 guarantees, and which I think they got some good momentum. But after 26th April, 2 key events happened. One was 27th April, which Pallavi said, the poisonous snake remark by Mr. Kharge. And 2nd May, the Congress manifesto, which mentioned the ban on the Bajrang Dal. These are the 2 issues which I feel brought BJP back into the reckoning very, very strongly. And obviously, they were backed by the Prime Minister's high voltage campaign, his 2 road shows in Bangalore and Mysore. That is what I think gave BJP the edge. So I would split it into 2. The second last fortnight is when the BJP got the edge. Before that, the Congress had the edge. Now, who outweighs each other remains to be seen. We'll know in the results when they're declared. But this is something which was clearly visible in the election. Second point, I think this election will be decided by the women of Karnataka. In more than 112 seats in Karnataka, it's the women who outnumber men voters. The rupees 2,000 promise for women by the Congress has a resonance on the ground. Women have been speaking about it when you go to the ground, and I think all of us have captured that. The BJP really didn't have much of a counter to that cash toll. And, you know, it's a fact that LPG cylinder is a big issue. The 1,100 rupees over the LPG cylinder was costing in Karnataka. So have the women who traditionally have always backed the BJP in a general election, in every state election, for various reasons, for the LPG cylinder, for Ujjwala, for Swachh Bharat, for toilets, for rations, have in this election the women shifted in some manner to the Congress because of this issue?
Have the women started feeling that perhaps they can get the best of both the worlds?
Exactly.
You know, in the state elections, as it is, the centre is not taking away the benefits or the schemes that they are giving.
I was discussing this with Maria the other day that, you know, I went to one house where this woman told me very interesting thing कि ये जो 2,000 रुपया है ये तो कांग्रेस देगी, जो सेंटर से 6,000 रुपए पीएम किसान निधि का था वो तो आएगा ना, वो थोड़ी बंद हो जाएगा. So voter I think has become very, very intelligent. They want laddus in both their hands, and the Congress obviously also, I think, amongst all the states in the country, the strongest organization that the Congress has is in Karnataka.
That's
you know, this is their strongest state. If they don't win here, I don't think they can win anywhere.
No, but
I think one of the things that I saw, I mean, you know, a couple of things which I felt, I mean, I was there in Bangalore for a few days and in Mysore, that traversing Hassan, Kanakpura, the old Mysore belt. I think what I got to sense was there is a serious backward class consolidation that's happening. Whether it is Dalits, Kurubas, the Ahinda vote, as it were. Not just personified by Siddaramaiah, but I think it was more a Congress vote as well. She talked about the Bharat Jodo. One of the congressmen I spoke to in Bangalore, he said, you know, something happened in the Bharat Jodo where they had this rally in Davangere. And Davangere is not a citadel or a fortress of the Congress. In fact, Davangere is bang in the middle of the state. It's a Lingayat fortress. It's a BJP fortress. And it was Siddaramaiah's 75th birthday in the middle of the Bharat Jodo. And there were 10 lakh people. People were coming in trucks and buses. So this guy who I was speaking to said, and this was December or maybe January or sometime, where he said, I think it was December, where he said, we saw that, you know, people coming in bullock carts, in buses, in caravans, and we realized something was up here. Something was happening here. We couldn't put a finger to it, but something was really up. So I think that other than the women sort of vote share going up, and by the way, the EC has released figures in Bangalore. Out of 28 seats, in 24 out of 28 seats, women have outvoted men. So I think that's a phenomenal record.
It's quite significant, and is that going to influence the results?
Yeah.
We'll have
who
to
they
wait.
have voted for is
you know, but it's interesting.
Priyanka Vadra was also used extensively towards the end. You know?
No, but,
so they
but
did. And Sonia Gandhi was also brought in.
Yes,
for
but
just one
Pallavi, if
rally.
we were to make this comparison between, say, Bihar, you know, at that time in Bihar also everybody came to the conclusion that it's like a wave election in favor of Mahagathbandhan. Then we saw what happened in the results. Because the women as a constituency, they came out in huge numbers towards the end, in the later part of this 5-phase election that we saw in the state, and they voted for the BJP. You know, so I'm saying that women as a constituency, while we look at their promises that have been made, they are also very unpredictable constituency.
And Congress, in fact,